good. We're in a bit of a slanted position here. Let me bring myself up. But yeah, in today's video, I just wanted to talk on spiritual practice in general. Okay, and by spiritual practice, this could be whatever you're currently doing at the moment, whether that's a form of meditation, whether it's just general, just sitting there quiet, whether you take walks but you do it in a reflective way. No matter what your spiritual practice is, I just want you to understand that it will never be an antidote. Okay, and you have to understand, when you first approach these spiritual practices, it might feel like you're looking for an antidote, or you're doing it in the sense to see if it is the antidote, like, if you know what I mean. But at essence, what we have to remember is that these spiritual practices are just a prescription. Okay, I call it the prescription to life. Okay, it's what these people try to sell you in the course. It's what people will tell you the answer is. It is that, and that in itself is not an antidote. Okay, as the people online, or as they might put it, they might picture it to be this antidote. You know what I'm saying? It's something like you take it and it's, yeah, I'm now free. But no, man, it's a walk, a prescribed walk, okay, with certain things, and certain hardships that you have to kind of, endure, okay? And again, these things is the beautiful part of life, okay? It's the slow, but yet fulfilling part of life, in which you're able to sit there and you're able to reflect on yourself, and you're able to grow through that reflection. You know what I'm saying? You're able to see your mistakes in real time. You know what I'm saying? You're able to see your flawed parts at real time. You're able to see that flawedness reduce and see other flaws come up, which you never expected. You're able to see things in your life which you would have never realized was a negative to you, but it was. And I would say one thing for me was definitely my food consumption. Okay, for a long time, I've been perfectly fit. You know what I'm saying? I'm young, but I've been perfectly fit. But I've been eating a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Throughout my whole life, and I've never really addressed that. And I've undergone this path of me looking within myself, and for the first time in my life, I've been able to actively see how I actually eat like shit. Like, even today, I had 3 Nutella sandwiches, bro. I had 3 Nutella sandwiches. The point isn't that I'm having the Nutella sandwiches. The point is the fact that I know that I'm having a Nutella sandwich. I know that that's what I'm doing. I'm aware of that, and I know that it's not good for me. It's not that I want to, okay, now I'm going to change my diet, okay? But being able to address that in that way is something I haven't been able to do before. You know what I'm saying? Because I've constantly blocked that part of myself for a long time. And this is what I'm getting at. It's about, being able to work on ourselves in that way, in which the subtlest things that we don't even realize are there get to come to light. You know what I mean? And again, I've spoken about before, semen retention, stuff like this. I've currently just started a new cycle of semen retention because it got too much for me. I'll just be honest with you. It got too much for me, But then again, sometimes, you have to stop. Sometimes you have to start. As time goes on, I'll be more stronger. I'm able to more withhold it, okay? But I accept the fact that you know what I'm saying, I failed. But I still bask in that encouragement for you guys to try semen retention, because it's really good. It really clears out your mind, you know what I'm saying? And it really removes a bit of that baggage that we hold in the fact that we want to, we're always trying to appeal to others, okay? You're able to see that side of yourself a bit more clearly. But, man, I can't talk about self-introspection highly enough, man. Even without semen retention in this moment, if we were to say that in that way, obviously, it's more on the gross level of constant, you know what I'm saying, like, where you really see the negatives of, because I would say semen retention, one of the biggest positives, or the negatives of not doing semen retention, is when you're gooning a lot, like you're bashing a lot. Like, that's when you see the negatives more, I would say. You definitely feel a lot weaker in your approach to life, and a lot less confident, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, what was I saying? Sometimes I do get to this juncture, okay, where I forget what I was saying. It happens quite a lot. But I guess I'll just send it back home with my original point. Self-introspection is the prescription. Okay, you look at yourself from within. That's all you gotta do. It's all you got to do, and you got to break down the conditioning, man. That you can't be accountable to yourself, because that's the one thing. I've been having a couple conversations recently with some girls. You know what I'm saying? And again, at least at this point, it's on the platonic level. And I would like to talk about a situation I have with another girl in just 1 second, but and I can see that they're not allowed to look at themselves in the subtle ways. They're not allowing themselves, even though I'm having that conversation. I'm like, yeah, I was just saying. I think I was saying something to do with like myself. Like I was saying, oh no, I was saying because we would go to everyone would go to the university, okay, just to meet up, hang out, yeah. And I was just talking about how everyone would go there to revise, but really they're just being there to be seen, okay? And you might understand what I mean by that, but she was struggling to understand what I meant by that, by being seen, because she was saying, no, I was there to revise. But I was talking about it on a more subtle level. Like, that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, it's there, but you can't see it until you can really look at yourself from the outside perspective. It's the same thing with me. If someone told me that, obviously I wasn't there to revise, but I was just there to chill. Like if I wasn't able to subtly see that I'm also there just to be seen as this person that chills, that's the front I want to put out to the world. I would just say, nah, man, I'm just there to chill. Like this is my chill spot. You man intruded it, even though it was my chill spot. But I would still come there as my chill spot because I want to be seen chilling there. That's the truth. Because I know when I don't want to be seen chilling somewhere, and even though I kind of do, because I'm kind of hoping to meet the love of my life there. You see here, I didn't really come. I came here to be truly alone because I know nobody really comes here. But then at the same time, I saw 2 people that I knew came here, but I wasn't looking for them. But then we had a good interaction. They had their dogs there. I was talking about how I wanted a dog. You know what I'm saying? But then besides that, the point that I'm trying to make is we have to, self-introspection allows us to look at these subtle levels of ourselves, or we're able to see ourselves from the outside within. Some people talk about astral projection, about being able to see your body from the outside. That's all good and well. But if you self-introspect, then you're able to do that in real time, at all times of the day. You're able to kind of see yourself making the decisions. You embody that role of being the observer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I did say I was going to touch on my interaction with a girl. Because again, I would say this week I've been using a bit more cannabis. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest. I kind of, not relapse. I wouldn't call it a relapse. I would just, I don't know what to call it, but I've stepped back into the realm kind of to flush it out. That's my intention, I would say, that I would want. That's what I want my intention to be. My intention might be subtly a different thing than that I might not be fully aware of. And I address that fact that I might not be fully aware of it purely based on the fact that I want to get rid of smoking and I've come back to smoking. But then I say that my intent is to flush it out, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling myself. Again, it's subtle, yeah. But one thing I have noticed in this time is that my call to kind of lust is increased heavily, especially at night. Obviously, this is probably going to be factoring with the foods I'm eating as well. But, yeah. And there was a girl that I was messaging her. We did a few things back in the day, and I kind of had it in my head, like, if I was to message her, I know that she would kind of give it up. You know what I'm saying? That was my thinking behind it. And, yeah. And I was just like, for 3 days, on and off, I was just like, I'm going to meet her, and then I'll be like, in the day, I'll be like, no, I'm not going to meet her. And then the night time will come, I'll message her. I'm like, oh, let me see this, that. Obviously, now I've kind of backed off. You know what I'm saying? I never met her. But, that was a real war that just happened in this week. Like, but then that's what I mean. Like, but then these are things that if you're not looking at yourself on the subtle level, then these are things that would just happen spontaneously, like, and you would just accept them. Like, and that was me at one time. Like, if I just felt alone or horny or whatever, like, I would just message certain girls and I would just see what I can get out of them. And especially at those times, I kind of had access to certain girls on which I could do that. You know what I'm saying? But obviously now that I'm not on social media and stuff, it's a bit harder to do that. So again, I see it a bit more rawer. My options are a lot more slimmer. So I have to be a bit more honest in my situation. I'm a little bit more desperate. You know what I'm saying? And that desperate brings out the worst of me. And again, that can be seen as a negative, but also allows me to be able to self-introspect my way in which I can be more honest, because, it's not really, it doesn't manifest itself in a subtle, little message. It's the only thing in my day that I'm doing, which is kind of indicating that I'm still battling these things. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is a lot of just a projection of how I'm feeling at the moment, but at the same time, I just really want to send this home because I want my experiences to be shared in a way in which if someone experiences something similar, they can know they're not alone. Like, You know what I'm saying? But we have to keep battling these things. Like, trust me, I have times in the day, but I'll just be sat there thinking. I can hear the voice in my head telling me, you know, like, this path that you're doing is not even all that. Like, you're not even really seeing the benefits like that. Like, you know, like, maybe you're just, like, you maybe don't try self-introspect today. I can hear them voices in my head. And it's mad. And it's mad. That's the thing. I can hear the part of myself that is telling me not to work on myself because it's telling me I don't need to work on myself. I can hear my ego. But then it's like, it's confusing because it's coming from the same voice that I trusted for so many years of just being this laid-back attitude to certain things. And okay, in certain situations, that laid-back attitude definitely helped me. You know what I'm saying? That laid-back attitude definitely helped me in terms of just not really molding myself with the view that the world wanted me to mold myself with. But I'll be honest, as time has gone on now, that voice is starting to show itself as a voice that I don't really want to listen to anymore. But it's a voice that I know I'm going to have to work with because it's a voice that I know is a part of me. So I have to improve that voice. By lightening the load in my life, I have to improve that voice. I have to better that voice. I have to better myself because that voice is me. You know what I'm saying? I am that voice. And I've come to understand that now. In this moment, as I speak in real time, I'm embodying that. And this is why I love making videos, especially this video. This video feels very powerful to me. And I like this spot. I like this sunset. I'll be real. But I'm feeling the energy, man. I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? In a raw form. And I love that feeling, but I understand it's not a pretty road. It's not a pretty road at all. It's not meant to be a pretty road. It's meant to be this tossy-turny road. But in the real life, where it matters on the subtle levels, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be ahead of all these other people that are stuck in this loop of this world, fam. And you have to understand that that is a benefit which is worth the pain that you get, because the pain is what you get in this world anyways. You will get that pain, but just in a more unconscious and a way with which you, it's not that you have less control, because you don't really have control anyways, but your control, your perception of control is completely skewed. Like, you think that you have a hand in what you're doing. You think that your ego will tell you that you have your life in control. You're living a lie. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not introspecting yourself, if you don't recognize how valuable you are to be shaped and torn by this world, then you'll never grow. You know what I'm saying? You stay stagnant. Okay? But this was a very powerful video, okay? I don't really see much I can talk about anymore, because, you know, but I enjoyed it. I'm going to show you guys the views as well, man, because I'm telling you, like, I might not live in no paradise, but Whitley's nice, man. Don't let them lie to you about Whitley, bro. Don't let them lie. But yeah, I'm gonna get going, okay? You guys like the stick? Let me show you guys again. Wow. Say nothing. Yes. It's a bit wonky, I know. I got this for like £3. It kind of does the job, but I'm pretty sure it's breaking my phone. But bye.